Khamzat Chimaev might be in serious danger. Welcome back everybody to Keenan KTV. Going into the highly anticipated fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Paulo Costa, let us go over why Paulo Costa can defeat Khamzat Chimaev. I will also make another video going over why Chimaev can beat Costa, so please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel with the bell turned on. Paulo Costa consistently controls the center of the ring right from the opening of each round. This is exactly what Khamzat Chimaev likes to do, and this is a very effective trick that many super aggressive fighters like Conor McGregor utilize. Right before the referee announces the round, they are already crossing over the black line to get an advantage in ring generalship. Chimaev also prefers this approach, but this time around, he is facing his toughest opponent yet, and someone who isn't intimidated by him. Paulo Costa might be the first fighter to make Khamzat Chimaev take the first step back, and if he does this effectively, then the aggressive wrestler will start to panic. In my opinion, Khamzat Chimaev is not a natural middleweight fighter. I am of the opinion that he is the most dominant at welterweight, because at middleweight he won't have the advantage of facing former lightweight fighters that he can easily overpower. Paulo Costa also happens to be one of the biggest middleweights out there, right behind Alex Pereira. So I believe that the size and strength difference will nullify much of Khamzat Chimaev's aggression that worked against smaller welterweights, but not against a big middleweight like Paulo Costa. This will mean that he will not be able to take as much damage as he did against welterweights, specifically against a former lightweight fighter like Gilbert Burns. Against those fighters, they tend to immediately cave in and let Khamzat Chimaev be the aggressive come forward fighter who is in control of the middle of the ring. But against Paulo Costa, I believe Khamzat Chimaev will have to earn it, and if he doesn't earn it, I believe that he will lose that center of the ring advantage. Since I am of the opinion that initially in the first round, or maybe in the second round as well, Paulo Costa will immediately come forward, claim the center of the ring, and will push Khamzat Chimaev back. Now, even though Costa is a very big and powerful fighter, he does not rely on knocking out his opponents with one big shot. Against all of his opponents, he opts for a patient, well-balanced output in his strikes and body kicks while maintaining a very balanced base. He will never overextend, he will never be out of position, and he will never let the opponent get a big counterpunch window off of him that will destroy the offensive distance that he created. This is something that Conor McGregor didn't do against Khabib Nurmagomedov in round number 1 and 2, and after his coaches advised him to be calm and not throw crazy shots, he ended up winning the third round and stuffed all of his takedowns.
When he got behind the black line, you chased him. So let's keep him behind the black line, let him come to you.
Draw him on, Conor. Pop the jab and pull out. Let him fall into the space, straight over, push down.
Do not chase him this round. Draw him on.
Having offset pressure to get your air back. You can get a little air if you pressure in the beginning. And now Khabib, and that's where Conor can use his left.
There's the shot.
And that's one.
Oh, an elbow by Conor.
McGregor continues to bank that body work.
Wrestlers tend to struggle when they are being pushed back, because this forces them to fight defensively, and in this case, for Khamzat Chimaev, he's not accustomed to fighting defensively, which in turn causes them to lose the control of the ring. Wrestlers also find it very difficult to go ahead and shoot in for takedowns while they are moving back, and if they do shoot in, most of the time it is a desperation shot, and these desperate shots can easily be seen, and thus also stuffed. It is also worth noting that Paulo Costa has pretty decent takedown defense, especially when he's walking forward. Chimaev likes to body lock his opponents and then throw them down while he's shooting in for a takedown. So it'll be very interesting to see how much Paulo Costa can avoid getting in a clinch, but if he does, how much of his strength and power difference that he can utilize to get himself out of that clinch. And if he is successful in defending a takedown or two, what will Chimaev do? Because Chimaev backed off from grappling with Gilbert Burns after a few takedown attempts, and then he decided to brawl with him. So it seems to me that sometimes Khamzat Chimaev can be a hothead and forget about his game plan. And going into a fight where there is so much trash talk, so much hatred towards one another, how much can Khamzat Chimaev control his emotions and stick to a very organized and planned out game plan? That is something I'm interested in seeing, but I'm not able to count on Khamzat Chimaev to stick to a game plan, so I believe in that sense it also might favor Paulo Costa if this fight turns into a brawl. Another weakness in Chimaev's game has to be his defense, but especially his head movement, which is mediocre at best. When going forward against Gilbert Burns, he was walking into pretty much every single jab, every single right straight counter, and he virtually lacked any head movement in avoiding these shots. He relied on the fact that he was the bigger fighter to eat these shots and still come forward, but against a bigger, stronger opponent in Paulo Costa, that is not something that I believe he can do this time around. So if that can't happen and he's being pushed back, well, in that close range, Paulo Costa, if he's hitting Khamzat Chimaev, he won't like it, and I'm not sure how Khamzat will react towards that. Khamzat seems to have a decent chin, but it is concerning when a lightweight fighter like Gilbert Burns is able to hurt him and drop him. While I highly doubt that Paulo Costa can land the same counter shot where Khamzat Chimaev walks in and just eats a big shot, because I do believe that Gilbert Burns is faster and a better boxer than Paulo Costa. However, if Khamzat Chimaev is not walking into a big shot, that doesn't mean that that is the only shot that Paulo Costa can land, because even Yoel Romero got dropped when Paulo Costa was coming forward with a big check hook. So if Yoel Romero can be dropped, I wouldn't doubt that Chimaev can be dropped as well. Another big tool that a lot of people don't seem to be utilizing against wrestlers are kicks, because of the fear that they will catch the leg and take you down with it. But if you execute it swiftly and forcefully, kicks can be very effective against wrestlers. And Costa possesses arguably the best body kicks in the entire division, and these body kicks will be very difficult to block, parry, or catch for a takedown. So Chimaev will have to brace himself and block it, which in turn can create an opening for Paulo Costa to connect the left hook right after those kicks. Now, leg kicks are a little bit riskier because they can just immediately attach themselves to a single leg and then just go from there. However, I have noticed that Khamzat Chimaev likes to switch stances. So when he does switch to the southpaw stance, I do believe that will create a very good opening for Paulo Costa to connect with a lot of inside leg kicks that will take away a lot of the base that Khamzat Chimaev has, because he likes to lean a lot on the front foot. This is something that Paulo Costa did very well against Marvin Vettori. Another area where a lot of people seem to be critiquing Costa for is the stamina department. There is a misconception about Costa's stamina. While his output does decrease in later rounds, it isn't a very extreme change. He doesn't totally gas out like Luke Rockhold did. Costa, if anything, has shown decent stamina, even in tremendous fights against Yoel Romero and Marvin Vettori. Those fights were action-packed and he seemed to be just fine. Yes, he did slow down, but that is natural. You can say that Khamzat Chimaev did also slow down against Gilbert Burns, but does he have bad stamina because of it also? No, not really. Some fights are just more demanding than others. So in my opinion, there is no stamina issue in this matchup for either fighter. Now, the last area is one that is tremendously overlooked, and that is the mentality. Khamzat Chimaev is facing somebody with a lot of fearlessness. Paulo Costa doesn't fear Chimaev one bit, and most of Chimaev's previous opponents have shown a lot of fear and compliance during their fights. They would allow Khamzat Chimaev to dictate the dynamics, to be the ring general, to be the alpha in the ring. Paulo Costa will not offer him that advantage. Instead, he will go after Khamzat Chimaev. This is something new, so Khamzat will have to earn his right to pressure Paulo Costa. So I really want to see how Khamzat Chimaev will be responding towards that. So in conclusion, this fight is likely to be more complex than many anticipate, but in the end, only time will tell what will truly happen.